one is, hold on. Okay, is it really about protecting the sisterhood, or is it about silencing women who don't stand for the foolery or buffoonery?
Man, that's a good one. You put some thought into that question. Um, I think it's about protecting themselves. I think it's about them not having to take public ownership of their own behavior because women do not like to fit the description of anything that men do not respect.
Mm,
Falling out of favor with a man's respect is like one of the things that allows women to try to just respond in a negative way and say you must hate women, go right to sign language, shame, insults, guilt need to be right. um when if a man can make a statement from an anecdotal point of view, um he's only speaking off the women that he can attract.
mm,
So like when women talk about men in from an anecdotal point of view, they're generally talking about a bunch of different men that they've attracted to them, that they've given some kind of time, and they've gotten the same frequency of response. And what women don't understand, and this comes into a value and a worth conversation about what women's value is, their self-worth and all of that stuff, right? But it doesn't matter how you feel about yourself. I mean, it does to a degree, you know what I'm saying? But like what other people see and what you think you are not the same thing.
right. Absolutely.
We're looking at your outcomes. We're looking at your decision making because that tells us about your mindset. Because otherwise, you just got on a costume.
Right.
So that same costume mindset it's attributed to everything. That's why the sisterhood is a farce. That's why it's
Mm,
propaganda. That's why the name has more weight than anything else. It's the exact opposite. It is a cult, in my opinion. And
absolutely.
because if you'll do anything to protect the cult, you'll do
Definitely.
you'll do anything to protect the cult. It's the gang. You know what I'm saying? They might as well be outside and getting look. This is an emotional Rico because when you look at the way women treat each other
Mm-hmm.
with no men involved,
Mm,
only at a transactional level,
mm,
you look at the way they treat their kids. Because if they were doing better without the men involved, then we had to sit back and say, man, you know what? The sisterhood got it together.
right. Facts.
But think about the low metrics that we're grading by on a macro conversation. Men are grading them at the micro at the same
Right.
level. I see your kids. I see that I could go to jail if you got a promiscuous daughter. Because it
I can see
changes.
I could die if you got a YN for a son. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I can't fool with you, you
Come
know?
on, man. Like think about in a biblical sense. You know what I'm saying? And to bring some levity to it. Picture Joseph being the stepdad. You know what I'm saying to Jesus, and Joseph come back from a long day of being in the field with the sheep, and the 12 disciples sitting on his front porch.
Right.
Talking about, hey, who this dude out here with these sheep? Oh, that's Joseph. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He
Right.
can't call him dad. He can't call him nothing else. And Jesus over there doing magic and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then it's a Judas in there.
Right.
And all of the stories associated with it. All of these things are happening real time on a regular basis because it's not you just getting in it's not a man just getting in a relationship with you. It's getting into a relationship with all of the habits associated and connected to you. It's the family that you come from. It's the mindset. It's the
Mm,
you say let's go to a family event, and then we get there, and you got all of this chaos that you was raised by all in one spot, judging you and showing the man the type of women that culture your family, and so if you don't even realize that you ain't never been protected. You've been bragging about the women in your family.
mm,
You've been bragging about how y'all get together, but in our mind, we like y'all just get together on a superficial level. I can tell they don't like you,
Right.
but I can't tell you that. I gotta wait for you to see it, and then now you got to go through this whole, you know what I'm saying, image reclamation project because who you've been patterning yourself off of or growing yourself off of. I'm like, you got women in your family that are whores,
Right.
and you don't
Definitely.
even know it because so yeah, they're gonna protect the sisterhood, but the reason that they do it is because individually they know they messed up a long time ago, and they don't want to take ownership of that. So ultimately, they'd rather be in the cult than to take ownership of that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's why when men say they don't have no accountability, it comes from that. All right, folks. Appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This has been another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go get the book. And most importantly, I will see you beyond the algorithm because that's where life actually happens.